And we're live. This is Julien Jean-Pierre from the Royal St.Lucian Seamoss Company. I know today I didn't have my usual intro video, whatever, and we're starting an hour late. Uh, it's been I don't even know where to start. Like fuck, I don't even want to do this tonight. It's been a really shitty day. Today started off okay. Everything was great. You know what I mean? Everything was cool until the last, quarter to 9. I went to drop off shipment of packages, and I was at the post office, and I, had two bins that I wanted to come in. So I went dropped one off, went got the other one, closed the trunk as far as I know, and went inside. And then when I came back, I noticed the trunk was half open. So I look inside and I realized that the bin was missing. And what's really extremely upsetting is that I had put my laptop in that bin. So whoever got into my car, and my whole family was in the car and in the trunk, back seat. I had my $2 in the back seat sitting there. They didn't even notice. They thought it was me, I guess. Going in the car, the wife was in the front seat. No one noticed, and my laptop's missing, and it's an extremely expensive laptop. So I'm not even doing this on my computer, which is normal. I don't even know what to do tonight. But I guess the show must go on. I committed to doing this time, so I'm gonna try and make it work. Even though I really I can't believe it's gone. That was my baby. That was my life. I went everywhere with that laptop. I guarded it so much. I I can't believe that someone would go into the car and just nick it like that, just swipe it. It's heartbreaking. But anyways, yeah, I hope I find it too. The good thing is that I had all the security features on it, the find your thing. So the second the computer is useless to anybody. There's no way for them to sort of crack my password and get into it. I'd be shocked if they were. And it's got a chip on it that's supposed to be able to you know find it wherever it is. So hopefully, uh, yeah, someone's gonna it's gonna show up. I keep checking my computer. Actually, that reminds me, I should open up the clubhouse room and see if anybody wants to join in that way. Oh. I still can't believe it. But these things happen. Sometimes shitty things happen for a reason. You know what I mean? To be honest, this is not the first time I've lost my laptop. This is the second time. The last time someone broke into my car and stole it. And I actually found where the laptop was and traced them. And this is what's crazy. Both times that this stuff has gotten stolen from me, the police were right there. You know what I mean? Because last time that happened, when I was chasing the guys down, because I could track it on my computer, on my phone, I pulled over the cops, and they came and they were going to go in the house, but we couldn't determine where in the house it was. So they just said we can't just barge into a house and wake everybody up and say, where's the laptop, So whatever. Maybe someone's doing some voodoo shit on me, and they're you know what I mean, they're hating on me, so they're just putting some negativity. But I'm gonna take this shittiness and just channel the energy into just I don't know. I'm gonna sell so much CMOS. I'm gonna forget about that computer. That's my sort of way of looking at things. You can't cry over spilled milk. Once things happen, they happen. You know what I mean? So, but I just wish it didn't happen. But hey, let me know if anybody want to comment on this guest, or if there's any topics you guys want to talk about, or because I don't want this to be about the Julian, lost his laptop show. Because fuck, it's I don't know. I should have locked the door, been more aware of what was going on. Something told me, like I felt weird when I was doing the thing, but at the same time in my head, I just kind of convinced myself this is normal. I'm doing this every day. But there was a feeling, like I did feel like something was up, but I thought it was just like I wanted to get home. You know. I shouldn't even have dropped off those packages. I should have waited till the next day and did them. You know what I mean? If I did that, everything would have been fine. I would have still had my laptop. Yeah, it is what it is. You know. So I got the clubhouse room going. So yeah, so I'm on my family computer down here in the basement. This is a new look for me, I guess. Hey, Leandra, how are you? Welcome to Let's Talk About Seamoss. Um, it just started the room, so I'm kind of getting it warmed up or waiting for some people to come in. But I'm open to answer any questions about Seamoss. I'm really passionate about Seamoss, and I run a business that sells it. I export it from St. Lucia, and yeah, I also run a group called the Seamoss Buyers Club, where we have Seamoss people buying Seamoss from all over the world, which I'm pretty proud of. I think it's a great club. Um, we are going to make some changes soon to it. I think we're going to start like having like an approved vendors list, sort of like a list where these are people that are sort of like recognized and respected, and they have you know they're just not some kind of fly by night, and that's the thing. I'm not sure how to really sort of gauge the criteria of how you would qualify as an approved vendor, but I feel like you need to have some sort of quality, like some experience, um you know um exporting, maybe two references that we can check up on people that you've sold to, because you don't want to be someone who's just started, you know. And so, yeah, I mean, I think I'll get a few people's opinion, and we'll just draw from that and go from there. Fuck. And I mean, normally I have all my links and everything like set up, so it's like I'm like, oh, let's go look on something on you know online, because usually if you don't know what to talk about, you can always just talk about talk about some kind of website or something. But don't know what would be interesting to see, to learn about. I mean, I've done these stuff in my lives before, almost everything. Seaweed. This girl looks like Tata. I don't think that's her. I want to see some of the commercial Seamoss farms. We're harvesting Seamoss.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
It's Antigua. This is nice.
Yeah. It's the little things you do, girl. Like the ocean, moving to and fro is we motion. Yeah. Just like the sky. Baby, I'm high off of the little things you do. Like when you lose all control, when you're out on the road. Like when you say out my name, like you're feeling a pain. And if it's okay, okay, baby, let me make a wave on your body. Let me make a wave up on your body, girl. Let me make a wave up on your body, girl. I want to make a wave just with your body, girl. Let me make a wave up on your body, girl. All up on you.
There's so much questions regarding buying Seamoss these days. So much confusion.
That's fucking fact. And that was like 2019. Akeem did that. And there's so much confusion. And there still is. Like, it's crazy. Most honestly, so you're saying here you wonder if it's wild or farmed. Most sea moss is farmed, you know what I mean? And but the stuff they get is from the wild. Or actually, hey Maria, I didn't see you there. I was so busy watching the videos. So most of them are farmed, but there is like lately what's been happening is a lot of these farmers have been grabbing the sea moss from the wild. So there's honestly there's no difference, at least in my opinion, from what I've seen in my experience by using both products, I don't see a difference. You know, and I know everybody says the wild, this, that, but like the way they're growing it is the same way it's grown in the wild. Maybe the only difference is they'll clean it better. The wild sea moss, like the real wild sea moss, it's so dirty. Yeah, it's like John. It's like a mix of wild and farmed because all the starter plants come from the wild. Whether they pick it up in around the farms, or they like a lot of times they'll have like a nursery area, an area where all the sort of wild starter plants grow. You know, and then like I said, lately they've all been dyeing it. Like for the last like couple months, they've probably since like November or so, they've been not touching their farms and really just getting people to dive in and around the areas because the stuff is so abundant there. Yeah, no problem, John. Thanks for asking. Let me know if you want to join in on, if either one of you guys want to join in on the live stream, and we can talk more. Or, I mean, you guys can definitely chat and do the texting and I'll answer the questions. But, move the camera. Yeah. I should also, I will put the link there. There. And then this is the link that you need to put if you want Facebook, or if you want us to be able to see what your name is when you join. So yeah, most of the sea moss that's been harvesting since like November has been wild, but there's still a lot of people that have farmed. You know, there's not, especially when you're buying in large quantities, there's not one farmer that will produce enough to supply everybody that they deal with. They usually have like multiple people put their, you know what I mean, their uh, their harvest together to fulfill an order. And sometimes it's like I might have an order that needs this much sea moss, so I go to my buddy and get some. And then a couple months later, he has an order that needs extra, so then I return the favor by selling him some. You know what I mean? Like there's always this kind of like intertrade between each other on how they're trying to sell. Or if I got a lot of sales, then I'll come to everybody to help me out to put together like, you know, a large order, especially when it's more than like say 500 pounds. You know, there's not too many people that can produce over 1,000 pounds per month. And if they do, they have like sort of probably like a, you know, how do you put it, they have like a almost like a contract with that person where like all that person is taking all their sea moss. But you know, I really still can't believe that my computer's gone. Like it just like it hasn't sunk in fully.
Wait, I missed that part. I think I gave you like a news where you talked about how it happened before, but I didn't hear before that.
So what happened was I was just dropping off some packages, and I had my laptop in the trunk, and I had the packages in the trunk, right? So I put the empty bin after coming from the post office, and I grabbed the second bin and went inside, and I like basically threw my laptop in the bin because it was empty to kind of save space in the trunk, and I pushed it in and I closed the door. So when I came back out, the laptop was not the laptop, sorry, the trunk was like half open. So I was like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? So I go inside, I open the trunk, and the bin's missing. So I'm like, guys, what happened to the bin? And I thought they played a trick on me or something. And I'm looking around everywhere, we can't find the bin. And the bin's gone. And so the knapsack was in the bin, and inside the knapsack had a laptop. So I don't know if they just grabbed the bin, you know what I mean? And at first, I didn't think about the knapsack being in the bin. And then I said, wait a minute, I put the laptop in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah, no, and like they weren't even around your car at that time as well. No, they were just kind of like more on the warehouse side. Like they weren't around your car.
No, I was at Shoppers, parked in front.
Okay.
My wife was in the front and in the front seat waiting, and the kids were in the back seat. So there was people in the car. These guys stole it literally from underneath their noses. Like they probably thought it was me going back in the car to grab something, because I'm like that. I'll go back and forth and grab like a bunch of things. I said I was going to be a while.
Yeah, right. Who knows? They're probably like on their phone or something, right?
Yeah, and what's bothering me is like something was kind of like, oh, just do it tomorrow, and I was like, no, you know what? If I do it tomorrow, something else will come up, and I won't. You know, I need to get these packages. Like something was saying, oh, just make sure you empty these packages tonight. Get it done tonight, and then you don't have to worry about it tomorrow.
Because this whole time I was just like imagining you in at UPS.
Yeah. No, I was at Shoppers at Canada Post. The UPS comes and picks it up for me. And I had like something like 60 packages. Like I had so many like packages. Like I was there for like 15, 20 minutes.
Wait, so like do you plan on going to Shoppers and just ask like about the cameras?
Yeah, well, this is what's crazy. The cops were right there.
Yeah.
Right? So the cops were in the parking lot. Because I started freaking out. Like, what the hell? I started looking around, and then I saw the cops, and then I told them, like, I just got robbed. Like, someone just opened up my trunk and took the stuff out of the car.
And what was their comment? What was their feedback?
Well, they tried to help me, basically. But in the end, they said, you need to go home and file a report online. Like, this happened at, like, 9 o'clock. So I was rushing to get home to start the live stream. I was like, oh, I'm going to, drop these packages off. I'm going to go home, get the live stream. What I should have done was just went home, got like ready in time for the live stream instead of wasting, like trying to push it. You know what I mean? I could have started earlier. And then I would have had my fucking laptop still. That's how crazy life works, eh?
Just like that, eh?
Yeah. But you know what? Something I was, I don't know. I wasn't meant to have the laptop anymore. That's the way I see it. You know what I mean? God, universe, they decided to relieve me of it. And so it goes. What more can I say? Like, I'm not going to let it get me down. I'm not going to let it get me upset. If anything, I'm going to use it to fire me up, to be like, you know what? I'm going to make enough money. I'm going to buy 3 laptops, So I think if everybody starts seeing me go hard, then then you'll remember watching this video and remember, oh shit, that was that time Julie got upset because he lost his laptop. Because that was like my baby. But anyways, fuck the laptop. You know what I mean? This is a materialistic thing. I in my mind, I manifested that laptop, so I'll fucking manifest another one. You know what I mean? So you can't let this shit get you down. You know what I mean? I got a mission. Like I mentioned it. Yeah, maybe I'm best without it. You're right, Sean. Now I gotta force to live without it. You know what I mean? Because in some ways, maybe I was spending too much time, and like studying shit, analysis. You know what I mean? Because I was doing a lot of research and stuff, and I don't know.
Yeah, then like the universe is like, chillax for now.
Hmm. Yeah, but it fucks up a lot of things. Fucks up a lot of my plans. Really.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Believe me, I completely understand.
Yeah. So what am I gonna do about that? Like I said, I'm gonna manifest two laptops, one for me, one for my partner. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, and they're gonna be bad. But that laptop was ill, like it was badass. But you know what? If I have to get a new laptop, the new laptop would be like insane compared to what I have now. Although what I had was a MacBook i5 with like I think 500 gigabytes storage with 64 gigabytes of RAM. Like it was unheard of. Like I paid so much extra to have the extra RAM.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
seriously. What year was that?
2020. Like this thing was like 2 years old. It's not wasn't old at all. It wasn't that old. So it's kind of like holy shit. I don't know what to do. Fuck. I'll figure it out tomorrow. Call the insurance and let them know what's up and figure out what else I fucking was in that laptop. In the laptop. Like I said, it was a whole knapsack. So I gotta remember what's in the knapsack. Was my wallet in the knapsack? I think it might have. Fuck, if my wallet was in there, that sucks.
Hey, Julian, so is it, I mean, you say it's a MacBook, so would it be able to, like, find my device, like, kind of like how you do, like, a iPhone? Would it be, like, that option is there?
So it is set up for that. What would have to happen in order for it to work? And see, this is the limitation that they do when they don't tell you when you sell this stuff. The person has to connect to the internet. So if they never open the laptop and power it up and connect to some network, which for the most part, if you're selling is buying, like if you know the stuff you stole it, like you're not connecting to the internet, period. You know what I mean? Like, why would you do it until you cleaned it and made sure all my stuff is off that computer? You're not doing that. So I don't know if like it's supposed to have some kind of lock that stops you from doing that, like allowing you to like, you know what I mean, access the hard drive to format it. But who knows? Like, what if you go inside and put a new hard drive in it? I don't know. Does it work still? I think I gotta call Apple and see what the deal is. But I have a feeling that a lot of times the security that they say you have it's just not security. You know, if you put your mind to something, you can. You know what I mean? Fuck. Where there's a will, there's a way. So yes, that was the one good thing is that most of my data and stuff is backed up with iCloud. So I back it up all the time. So I have a backup like on a hard drive, and then also on iCloud. Like all my photos get backed up on it and everything. But it was like like I was my media station. Like I was doing editing all the videos and all the stuff. Whatever. Let's fucking talk about Seamoss. I need that. That was the whole reason why I did this live stream. Was like I didn't want to get like down by what happened. I almost wanted to just kind of forget about it and You know.
You were huffing and puffing, so I'm like, okay, let me just hear it.
Yeah, I mean, I was. I'm gonna be huffing and puffing for a while because it's like fuck, it's really gone. Like it's like oh my god, like they fucking got it. Like how? Like these fucking sneaky bastards. You know, like really. But yeah, I'm hoping that like one of them will slip up and connect to the internet or something, or that it does have some kind of like unique feature that there's no way to get around it. I don't know. I gotta look and see how the security works on that.
And you have a password?
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely password protected, and like I have a strong password, and I have the finger lock and stuff like that.
So, like, what I wanted to ask was, like, later on, um, so a lot of people have been asking me actually, like, out of nowhere, and it kind of does get a little bit, I guess, tiring to explain the whole thing, and then, like, it's a follow-up question, right? Because, when it comes to, like, the terminologies and, like, the whole, like, deep and, like, side stuff, with Seamoss, like, my brain doesn't really process it. That's just how I am. Kind of like crypto, you know?
Uh-huh.
So they've been asking me, like, the basics. So what I wanted to do was, after this is done, maybe in, like, a few days, I'm just gonna, like, screen record it and that part where you answer it, and I'm gonna share it on my Instagram.
Oh yeah.
So people do have a short attention span, but what was the question again? So it's the salt. Um,
Hmm?
yeah, like why? How come there's salt on it, and how
Oh,
come some of the other ones don't have salt?
so why is there sometimes salt on the CMOS? And why times there's so many different reasons, but mainly it's the waters that it's in. You know what I mean? And it's also the way that that particular farmer washed and cleaned the sea moss. Sometimes even the stuff has lots of salt, and what the farmer's done is taken the salt and knocked it off, so that because he knows that the people don't like salt. So to know whether or not that salt is naturally occurring, it's hard to tell. But for the most part, when it comes to carcelaria, you don't really see a lot of salt on it. You know, I feel like the salt that you see in what people would identify as pool grown sea moss, that or fake sea moss, that's sea moss. The salt is either added. I've never been able to determine, but I also suspect that it's formed because of the way it's been dried, and that's why it looks like the salt's thicker and stuff. Because the sea moss is wetter, and if they use like a machine to accelerate the process, then I think that that would cause the salt crystals to grow bigger and thicker, and so yeah, and that's where because I just don't get that, you know, the the idea of adding salt to it to preserve it or something. The stuff has like salt already when you dry it, you know what I mean, as you dry it, especially the colored sea moss.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. And also the other question was the whole rock thing and the minerals.
What about it specifically?
Like of how if if it doesn't like have, if it didn't come in a rock, it like lost its minerals and stuff like that.
Well, this is the thing. The sea moss, it doesn't have the ability to get minerals from a rock. Like, that's it. Do you know what I mean? So this idea, this theory of getting minerals from the rock really has no, it's not facts. It's not real. It's just a theory.
Can you touch up on of how like a seaweed is not a plant?
Pardon?
Can you touch up on of how seaweed isn't a plant?
So seaweed's not a plant. What a seaweed is it's an algae. It's a multicellular algae. And so the way that multicellular algae work is that they have no root structure. So they have no ability to draw the minerals from some area like a plant. Like a plant, how a plant works is that it's got roots and it puts the roots into the soil, and then through some chemical process that the roots release stuff out, it breaks down the minerals in the water in the soil, and it absorbs it through the water, right? Like, that's a process. Sea moss doesn't have that process. The only thing that attaches the sea moss to the rock is this calcified holdfast that they put on it so that it basically keeps it from flying away. Beyond that, that's the only function of that holdfast. And then it does a long stem, and then it has the flowers and stuff, and that waves in the water. And that's, for the most part, the areas where it's absorbing most of its nutrients from. But it's getting it from the whole plant. I mean, the whole, like, algae, the whole sea moss, like every part of it, all the skin, the surface, that's where it's getting its nutrients from.
And did you have or do you have any sources where I'm not sure if you call them a geologist, if they touch up on these things, or I'm not sure if I'm talking about the proper
So you're saying, is there proof to back up that the sea moss can't get the minerals from the rock?
yeah, from a professional that has been working like around
Oh yeah, there's lots of sites. We can look it up right now. There's several university sites that study sea moss and seaweeds, and they'll say it's a common thing. It's like it's standard with all the sea. Even Chondrus crispus doesn't get, like, no sea moss, no sea algae, seaweed gets the you know. And hey, Moss King, good to see you. Sorry, too bad you couldn't jump in as a guest, but I know it's getting late, and I'll be honest, I don't want to stay up here too late. You know what I mean? Because I am kind of bummed about the fact that I know I got to get sleep, and because I got to get up early and report it, and fuck, that's all the garbage about it. So it's like all the reporting and what I mean, all that stuff. I just want to go home, like, get a good night's sleep, get up, work. But you know what? Like I said earlier, I'm just gonna channel this energy into just, what? I'm gonna use this time to get the pen and paper and get a lot of ideas out of my head, I think, and just really sort of restructure my shit so that I can come back and get this computer back, like, just make the money back and get it, you know? Yes, I definitely believe that CBD and CMOS will be a popular product. I'll be honest though, I have never been someone that takes a lot of CBD, so I don't have a lot of experience on the usage of it. But I do believe that those two products together would make a good combination. You know what I mean? I also think even the mixture of those two plus say moringa would be cool. You know, I think that would be a popular product. But anything with CBD is going to be good. You know what I mean? CBD like has, scientifically, and I'm sure you know this too, John, has a lot of like health benefits. And so I think adding that with CMOS is just like, I don't know, maybe even CMOS can be part of the you know what I mean, like the delivery, like how you use coconut for it. I wonder how CBD will sort of like blend with CMOS, and can CMOS be like the new sort of carrier for this kind of, you know what I mean, instead of just taking raw CBD or CBD with coconut oil. I don't know. It'd be interesting. Or would you do it like a powder and put it like a capsule, like a mix of CBD powder and CMOS powder? Not sure. I think gummies would be good too. Gummies with CMOS, like CMOS and CMOS gummies with CBD and CMOS in it. But yeah, CMOS. I think I wonder, like, are people doing CMOS gels with CBD, but they're just kind of keeping it low key because of the different legalities in the different states? That's a question I've asked myself, before, because
I think I've seen.
surprised more
I think I've
people
seen.
aren't doing it.
I think I've seen like one person do like CBD CMOS. Like I've thought about it plenty of times, but I guess it's like because I don't. It's like the weight difference, like per customer. Like you don't want somebody to overdose, and then don't want like somebody that's like 200 pounds, and then somebody that's like 110. It's like how would we, like how many drops will we put per drawer? Like that's always been what I was curious about.
Yeah. Oh shit! I just dropped my phone. Yeah, that's a definite like good question. You know what I mean? I like I said, I don't know too much about it to know like, okay, this is the dose. But I think when you when you get the CBD, sort of like how much milligrams it is per whatever the weight is. Like there's got to be some kind of ratio and stuff like that. And then so, because I had friends that made THC gummies, and when they did it, they had their concentrate, and they knew when they mixed their batch how much concentrate they had to the mixture of the batch, and they were able to calculate like what the sort of like, per volume, what the say an ounce, how much milligrams of the product was active in that ounce, or in that portion of whatever they were making, based on the size of the portion and stuff. So it takes some math, definitely, you know but I think with just doing say pills, the math isn't too complicated. So John here said, good question. I say start low with 0.25 milliliters and go up depending on what your body tells you. Mhm.
So, do they offer powdered CBD?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's crazy. I've never seen that anywhere. I know some people do liquid. I guess maybe like you can use liquid CBD.
No, they got lots of powder. I have a buddy of mine who actually has something like kilograms or something like that sitting at his house. And he's like, yeah, bro, anytime you want it, come get it. I just haven't had time to go by and pick it up. And I mean, I've never used it. So I'm like, what am I going to use it for? But then I was like, I don't know, maybe I could throw it in some soaps or something like that. I don't know if I would make a product that has that, just because I don't want to deal with, I don't know. I think it's legal in Canada, but at the same time, you just got to sometimes stick to your lane, you know? Stick to your lane, and mine's selling CMOS, so I don't know if I want to start making a bunch of products with CBD in it too. I have to worry about it. I'd rather sell the CMOS that I have at a good price to someone so that they can make the product, if that makes sense.
And Julian text while it's on my mind. What's your website to go to order the Seamoss?
So my website is www.stlucianseamoss.co. So STLUCIAN, seamoss.co.
Okay, perfect. Gotcha.
Yeah, see, I figured Canada won't let us sell CBD or any products with CBD. I think you have to say like hemp extract or some other kind of like line or whatever, and you can't like market any of the benefits that come with the product and stuff like that. I think anytime you market any product with like say like natural benefits or health benefits and all this stuff, like kind of like something beyond a supplement, you have to get something called an MPA or something like that, which, or no, it's NPN. That's it. Natural product number. That's in Canada though. I think the States is different.
What about psilocybin?
Pardon?
What about the psilocybin?
Yeah, I think that's illegal in Canada too. I don't think. Well, I don't know. You know what? I've heard some people are selling it in some dispensaries and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So in America, hemp CBD is nationally legal. Nice. I mean, I know they're making a lot of products, especially hemp extracts and stuff like that in the States. I invested in a company, got bought up by another company that's not doing so well, so my investment's doing shit. But it was a company that was working on like a CMOS, not CMOS, sorry, a CBD beverage. And so they had a drink in the stores and stuff like that. And so they were the first company to come out with a technology to do water soluble CBD. And they had this, like, they were using this extraction process called nano encapsulation something or other. It's like super medical grade, um, um, subcritical, supercritical, some bullshit extraction, and so it allowed the CBD to be water soluble with the liquid, and so that's how they were making the drinks. Yeah, it's pretty technical stuff, but yeah, you can get CBD powder. You know, you should try it with your mixes, especially nano's not good for your body. Yeah, I don't know. It's unnatural. Yeah, it's definitely like using this high tech, you know, medical grade extraction process. But I think they were using CBD as the I don't know what they call it, the accelerant or whatever the extraction medium. Well, what's stopping you from putting your CBD in your products? It's Reginald, right?
Yeah, it's Reginald. I usually go by Reggie though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's honestly the only thing that was stopping me is like trying to figure out that math. Because I think that the way that I was thinking, like if I was to do it, I would have to do, I guess you could say more so per customer.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I say, like if I had a customer that per se was maybe 250 pounds, and I would put the dosage per like for a 250-pound person, or if I had a set dosage, maybe somebody that was 250 pounds wouldn't feel it the same as somebody that was like 115. Or maybe that person that's 115 that's maybe never taken CBD before might feel it, too much. So I was thinking maybe it would have to be a per customer basis, or maybe just a base range saying, like maybe if you're between 115 pounds to 200, then this is, your set amount. And then, I don't know, like I never sat down and actually just did the full blown on math on it.
Have you taken CBD? Have you taken
Go
CBD yourself?
No, I haven't.
You should try it. Definitely before you. Yeah, try and see how it works before you take and learn how the dosage is, how the dosage works on its own as it is already. You know what I mean? Like before you get so you know how it works. But
Exactly.
I feel like, and I think John said it earlier, you just got to go slowly, and you don't you go listen to your body, because I feel like sometimes a guy that's like 250 pounds, it's going to affect him way differently. And I mean, either way, like it could, he could take less and have a huge reaction. And maybe he might need more because of his size, or maybe he doesn't. You know what I mean? Like I've had times where like I could take like literally when it comes to the THC oil, probably 4 times more than what the average person will take. Like my wife would take like two milligrams, and she's like freaking out for for hours, whereas I can sit there and take 2,000 milligrams and just be like, yeah, whatever,
So I guess it'd go with also the tolerance level also too.
This is what I'm saying. Like what is your tolerance? And so you've got to start like at a certain, and I think like really it's kind of like like 2 tablespoons, 4 tablespoons, it's all putting, this nutrient in your body that you're getting a result from. You know what I mean? Like I was talking to a buddy, like another seller earlier today, and one of his businesses is selling fruit infused sea moss. And so we were just going on about like these so there's like this group of people that are really sort of like hardcore enthusiasts, and they're always kind of like shitting on flavored sea moss, saying, oh, that's not good sea moss, and oh, that's not real, and oh, it's gonna decompose faster, and oh, you're eating mold, and blah blah, you know what I mean? And so he was kind of meant to me, like, because he sells it, right? So he's just like, what the fuck? These guys don't know what they're talking about. Whatever, And then one of the first things I said to him, first of all, was that anytime these guys start like shitting on another brand or another way of doing something, saying like ours is the best, or ours is better, and you shouldn't take this and this and that. It's like to me, it's like that guy's full of shit. Like it's like you're insecure in a way. You know what I mean? Like why do you have to bring up this other person's Seamoss and compare yours to him? Like so I'm telling them, like anybody is comparing your Seamoss to their Seamoss, these guys, they're losers. They don't know how to sell Seamoss. You know what I mean? If anything, they're probably in it for the money, and that's why they're having this hard time, like getting rid of their Seamoss. You know, because they're just
Exactly.
yeah, and they see all these guys selling like the fruit and Seamoss, and they're happy and making money, and they get like, oh nah. Like to me, I don't put any fruit in my Seamoss. Like I tried it with the little bit of mango. I was like, you know what I mean? It's not for me. But that's me. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't need to be going and telling other people how they need to be consuming their Seamoss. You want fruit in your Seamoss? You want to buy it from a guy that puts fruit in your Seamoss? Fuck. As long as you make sure that the guy that's putting it in the fruit knows what he's doing, he's got good Seamoss. Do you know what I mean? Like, fuck, that's it. That's the only thing you should be worried about. Making sure you know, like you're not putting poison in your body. You know. And yes, I agree that if you're out there and you're making fruit infused Seamoss, and you're not selecting good fruit, and you're not sanitizing your materials, and you know what I mean, like you're not just doing good business practices, you don't deserve to be. You know what I mean. You should step out. You know, if you can't do the job right, then move on. You know, and let someone else that knows what you like. You know, I don't agree with the people that are in it for the money. That's for sure. No, I don't even know why we got on the topic about it. I just started thinking about fucking my friend today and how we were going on about
Yeah.
these guys complaining. You know, it's like,
Yeah, I guess we have those that
yeah,
they're in it for the money, and then more so us, we're more so. I mean, you know, speaking for myself and most likely others, like I'm in it for the health benefits. Like I tell anybody, like I'm selling health benefits. Like I will give you samples on samples on samples just so you can get the health benefits. It's not about the profit. Like I just want you to feel these health benefits. Yeah.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with being in it for the money. Like, not to say that I'm in it for the money, but I'm not in it really for the health benefits. Do you know what I mean? Like, I like Seamoss. I love Seamoss. You know what I mean? That's the one thing that I'm in it for. I'm passionate about Seamoss, and there was something magical that happened to me when I spent all that time in St. Lucia and picking the you know the Seamoss and stuff like that. But I'm more about maybe not the help in it. I guess if I had to say what my why is to create opportunities and to help grow the people of St. Lucia, to kind of show them, um, you know what I mean? Like almost like if I can do it, they can do it. Like who the hell am I? You know what I mean? And you know, it's almost like if I start doing it and I show them how to do it, you know what I mean? And I do these videos talking about how I'm doing it and everything, and they do it, then you know, that's a blessing. That's awesome. That's to me is what like. I get more off that than making the money, right? But in some ways, you need to make the money to make these ideas and these things happen. You know what it is? It's not making the money that's the problem. It's what you do with the money. Do you know what I mean? Because there's people out there, and I don't want to like pull names or direct fingers or anything, but there's guys out there that have the opportunity to spread the wealth and make money, and instead they'll choose to kind of like keep their money to them, or they won't take chances on people. They won't take these risks and stuff, and they're all more like, oh, let me hold on to my shit. You know what I mean? Like I'm the kind of guy like I'll lose my laptop and be like, fuck it, I'll get a new one. Do you know what I mean? Because I know there's millions of laptops out there, and if I work hard enough and if I focus my mind hard enough, I will come up with a plan that will get me that laptop. The laptop is it's almost like it's merely out of my possession for a short time until it comes back. And when it comes back, it's going to be an even better laptop. Got it, so fuck.
Facts, yeah. That's pure motivation, like you lose the laptop and that's just pure motivation to just grind even harder to go.
Yeah.
Like say, go get 2 more that's 2 times better. So that's you can use it and, we can cry about it and cry about it and cry about it, or we can use that as motivation and just fucking grind harder. Like there's no telling what's about to come out of you losing those laptops. Like it's like fire, like straight fuel. Like there's no telling what can come out of it now.
Yeah. No, and you know what? In some ways, it humbles you. It teaches you. Now I got to live without it. You know what I mean? Like I relied on it so much. Now I got to learn. And you got to be able to let go of that stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like that's what I believe, at least. That these are just material possessions that are within your grasp for a short period of time, and they come and they go. You know what I mean? And if you spend energy worrying about losing it, then you start to lose more things because your mind's focusing that energy on that and that negativity. Do you know what I mean? And that starts manifesting. Like people need to really start thinking about what they're thinking about and how they're thinking. Because a lot of times you're manifesting shit and you don't even realize that you're manifesting shit. And it really comes down to stuff that you're fucking thinking about every day, continuously, collectively, that results in like, I'm even thinking, okay, first of all, who did I upset? You know what I mean? Where they've cursed me to the point that something's gone wrong like this. That's the first thing that's gone through my mind. And then second is like, what have you been thinking? Like, you know what I mean? Like what like, how can you change the way you've been thinking so that this doesn't get like, it doesn't snowball into something worse?
Facts, like those thoughts are so powerful. Thoughts are.
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest billionaires, like all of their creations and everything, like it started off as a thought. Thoughts within manifestation are so strong. Like that's why I try to watch.
Thoughts are.
I always say, like I think before I think about saying something, or think about doing before I do something. Like I think before I think.
Yeah.
Like, and it goes so far.
Yeah. Thoughts are everything. Look, dude, I'm here's an example. I'm wearing an iWatch, okay? This was merely an idea 50, 70 years ago. Like in the 50s, they talked Dick Tracy or whatever, two-way. I can do everything that Dick Tracy can do. And he thought of that. Like sometimes it takes longer to get to the thing, but sometimes it happens like this. Do you know what I mean? It all depends, But for the most part, you're right. You gotta worry about your thoughts and really, like, in the morning, like, fuck, I'm gonna have to do some serious positive meditation or something, But honestly, like, my brother told it to me. He's like, dude, this is the devil just getting at you. Because there's a few things that I'm doing in the background that I'm like sort of like ramping up, and it's like, you know what I mean? I could see, like, when he said it, I was like, yeah, that's fucking true. You know what I mean? Like, this guy is really trying to fuck with my head. And so I'm not going to let it happen. You know what I mean? I'm, like I said, I'm going to come back stronger, and I'm going to show people how you can't let these things, affect your outcome. It's a minor setback.
Exactly.
It hasn't taken me out.
The more positive energy you pour se, like it's definitely going to be fighting whenever we are trying to establish something that is going to benefit us in a positive sense.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely like that. That's 100% true.
And what I realized, it's all a test. It's all a fucking test. Like even this, like how I respond, how I behave, how I act, how my behavior is, my whole mindset, it's all a test. That's what I believe. Like if I just play it cool and just humble my shit and say, yeah, okay, you know what I mean? Then like it's like testing me to see if I'm ready for the next level. You know what I mean? Like how are you gonna deal when something important is taken away from you or something like that? I'll say this. You know what's fucking crazy? I just realized this. So this is not the first time I lost my laptop. Last time I lost my laptop, it got broken into my car, and I couldn't believe it. Like I when I was out somewhere and I went to go to my car to leave, and the window was smashed, and they had because I guess I had left it in the back seat and not in the trunk. Right now, I always leave my laptop. I never leave it in the back seat. Always in the trunk. Right. But back then, I was just like, "What the fuck?" Right. That was, I think, a month or two before I left for St. Lucia. Before I started this business. So who knows? You know, maybe something life changing is about to happen to me. Because I know when I went to what it could be, yeah. Because when I went to St. Lucia last time, it was like literally 2 months after, a month after I stole, lost my laptop. You know.
Well, hell, we're gonna claim it now and just say that this loss is something that's gonna present something 2 times better, like another grand opportunity is about to present itself. We're gonna manifest that right now.
Yeah.
Like it's coming.
Yeah. No, I hope so. I hope that this really sort of opens some doors that happens. And I think it will. I think what's going to happen is that I'm going to have my not have my computer, and I'm going to have more time to sort of use my brain rather than use sort of my hand, like I think with my mind and stuff. And I think I'm just going to yeah, I'm gonna plan out my strategy for the next, couple months off my computer, and I'm gonna use that time where I'm not watching YouTube and I'm not watching this, or I'm not going on Facebook to see what people are talking, or hell, all the arguments that I get on people when I'm talking about minerals don't get from the rocks, or talking about the just whatever. You know, mainly it's the minerals of rock. That's what I argue with people about online. But I've been known to get into other trolling arguments here and there. So John says, "Yeah, recharge." I agree. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna recharge, reset, and figure out what to do next. That'll be I guess my plan. You know, and it's gonna work. You know. It's gonna go good. I'm gonna get a sick new computer. I think that was it. I needed to get a new computer. I don't know. But I didn't want a new computer. You know what I mean? Really, I didn't. I liked that computer. I was happy with it. And it had everything I needed. And I had my whole life on there. But anyways, I'm talking about this thing again. Let's forget about this. Let's talk about Seamoss and things related to Seamoss. Do you guys have any questions at all? Yeah. So you were talking earlier, Maria, about let me share the screen. About what was it? You were talking about sites that had minerals, but where it shows where the sea moss gets its minerals from. Seaweed, algae. Uh, See, normally I would pull up my links, but I know, I can't fucking drop it. Holy shit, I know, I don't even know how I'm gonna sleep tonight. Really and truly, I really don't know how I'm gonna sleep tonight because I'm gonna be tossing and turning like motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Like, because in the back of my mind, as I'm talking, all I think about is these guys, like, going through my shit. No, oh look what we got, bro.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah, no, this would be great because I know sometimes when you send people articles, they're not going to open it. Like 8 out of 10 times, they're not going to bother like reading it. So they're kind of being forced to watch this video that I'm going to edit with whatever you're going to show us.
here's an interesting article. I remember what it says. Actually, it's not right. How do I share a screen? Yeah, no, a lot of people don't want to share the information or read the information. You know. So what set is this? This is the Marine Stewardship Council. Maybe that's not a good one to look at. Maybe I'm not even using the right name. Let's see, bro. Alright, guys, let me share the screen here. It's, so this is the National Ocean Service, National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, U.S. Department of of Commerce. And no, they don't talk about it. I thought they would. No, forget about that sign. That's not.
Yeah, it's a lot of deep.
No, I like maybe here in the fisheries. Let me find a few links that will talk about it. Or does Seamoss have roots? That's another one. You can look at. Why are you doing all the supplements? You know what it is? This is the fucking search engine. I don't even know what I'm doing on Bing. What the hell?
Oh, freaking big.
Yeah, it's like, why can't I find it? It's just like all this garbage here.
It looks
Seamoss.
like Google. That's why I was a little bit surprised because I'm watching on YouTube as well.
Scrolling. Here's a PDF that I have. Have you seen this one? Have you ever gotten this one, Maria? I can send it to you. It's from the Caribbean um, Institute or something or other. The Caribbean National Resources Institute.
No.
Yeah, Canary.
No.
So this is a manual. If you Google Seamoss cultivation in the West Indies, you'll find this guide. Um, it's a PDF developed by this group that went and basically talked to some farmers, and you know they've created a report on the cultivation of sea moss. And in part of the report and the document, it shows you like how to grow sea moss, what areas you should be growing the sea moss in, how to monitor the growth to make sure like you understand that it's growing. Like you can grow, like watch it grow, like I guess like how much it grows in a month, how much it grows in 3 months, and then you sort of use that data over times to make sure that you're continuing the same sort of growth patterns. And if there's like a drop or some kind of issue, then you can monitor it. um I don't know. I think in the future we really need to start seriously taking a look at the sea moss, and like where we're getting the sea moss from, where the waters that we're getting the sea moss from, how they're getting it. And one of the things I'm definitely going to be like doing the best I can do is sort of behind the scenes is trying to push for more like to become make testing more common and more accepted, and so or more expected, and so that we can get a better idea of the waters and the conditions and what we're getting. Like it really only takes one or two people to get sick, and this CMOS can get a problem. And so we're not doing enough. That's a fact. We need to do more. And I understand it's not easy, like being in that position. It's not easy for us to just go get testing done. But I think if
Yeah.
testing, sorry.
I'm just agreeing with you because a lot of like it's a lot to invest in as well.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people don't realize. Like it's a lot.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Say we more people decide that they want to get testing, maybe we can, share the cost between the farmers and the exporters. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or, as
yeah, that's
consumers
a great
demand it.
idea.
Pardon?
That's a really great idea.
Yeah. Or as consumers demand it more, then they, the people selling it have no choice. Because what I'm finding now is that there are people out there that in the industry that are really taking this investment seriously, and they're getting their CMOS tested, and some of the test results are not the best. You know what I mean? And so what I'm being getting to, and I don't want to dive into it because to me it's like it's still very premature, but at the same time it it's something that we need to start, like, I guess, preparing for. Do you know what I mean? Like, we can't just turn a blind eye and think that all the water is perfect, that where all our sea moss
Right.
is coming from.
Yeah. Yeah, no, doing that would be really awesome. And I find that a lot of buyers are gonna start asking for that as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's like you have one up already. An extra.
Yeah. So I know I got a little bit off topic there, but getting back to this document. So on page 6 of the document, but page 4 on the actual PDF here, there's a paragraph or a section called "The Brief Biology of Sea Moss." And so there's a few paragraphs, talks about the three main groups that are distinguished by their dominant pigments, being Garcilaria and Eukinema being in the red sections, and that there's two other groups that are greens and browns, right? And so greens are like spirulina, and the browns would be like kelp and stuff, right? Um, the color of a species of red seaweed may differ from one site to another, varying from yellow to light brown to purple. Genetic variants of some of the sea moss may not have the red pigment and are bright green. So that's where you get the green season. And this is Gracilaria and Eukinema. It's different for Condorus crispus. But where they talk about, mainly in your question earlier about getting the rocks, the minerals from the rocks, yeah, right? It's in the second paragraph. It says most of the world's commercial sea moss species are reds or browns. Only reds are used in the Caribbean. Like all seaweeds, they have no true roots, leaves, or flowers. Plants consist of branched fronds attached by a holdfast to a substrate such as a rock or dead coral. The holdfast anchors the seaweed, but does not absorb nutrients like the roots of flowering plants. The entire seaweed plant absorbs nutrients that are dissolved in the surrounding water. This is an important feature in the farming seaweeds, as cuttings from plants can be anchored to any substrate, such as rope or nets, as long as the water conditions are suitable. So there you have it. And I know from experience, like with farming, right? Yeah, and I mean, one of the things I do say it a lot. I don't want to say I never say it because I've said it a few times. Is that I tell, like, people don't realize, like, I've done every single aspect of CMOS farming, like from
Right.
building the ropes to attaching the ropes to the sticks, to putting the sticks in the stand, to attaching the sea moss and stuff. And the sea moss is coming from the wild. That's where they get it from, right? They're either getting it from the wild or they're getting it from other parts of their farm. That, like, some people will build like what they call like a little nursery where they're always taking the cutlings, because you can take like a piece of sea moss like this big, like basically 2 inches or so. Usually the bunch is like smaller than your handful, and you attach that to the twine, and then you let that swing in the ocean. You know what I mean? And that's where it's getting its minerals, water from the current. You know, the more sort of I don't want to say rough, but like the more there's a current, the more the waves sort of go back and forth. the faster the sea moss will grow. Mhm. So yeah, there's some documentation there about the minerals get from the rocks. What time is it? It's 12:30. Had Taco Tuesday tonight. If anybody wants to email me or message me, like if you can't find this document online, you can Google me and or message me. Sorry, not Google me, and I can send you a copy of this because I have this. There's like about 5 or 6 different documents that they've commissioned over time that really talk about CMOS and CMOS farming and just the commercialization of the CMOS farming and stuff like that. Because this work really does a lot to um, there's a lot of people that live there, they I don't want to say stake their livelihoods, but pretty much they do. Like, this is their source of income. And I know from, I can't speak for other islands, and I can't really speak for St. Lucia except for what I see, right? And what I seen when I was in St. Lucia is that there's a lot of hardworking people out there, right? And they love to have the pride and ownership of running their own business and a successful business. Do you know what I mean? A business that does good business, that has sales and stuff like that, and they understand a little bit of marketing. They're not wanting to make millions of dollars and stuff like that and be a dominant and stuff like that. They're just happy to do good business with good people. You know what I mean? And fucking forget why I was saying that. When you get so lost in a thought, like you're like, okay, so why was I talking about this in the first place? Whatever. I think I was just talking about how hard these people work, and just that you know, they have this business. Now that they can sell CMOS, I think it's good. Oh, and they started. I think I was talking about a lot about the documents where they're showing about these different how to try and turn it into a commercial operation, basically. Because for the most part, the CMOS in St. Lucia, it's very how do you say it? It's not commercialized at all. It's more like on an artisan level, if that makes sense. It's like these guys that are farming the CMOS, they, for the most part, most of them are really passionate about CMOS, and they really like what's the word I'm looking for? Like it's like their life. That's all they do. Like they don't see themselves doing anything else. CMOS could drop to $1 a pound, and they'll still be out there trying to sell CMOS and farm CMOS because that's what they love doing, being in the water, being with that CMOS. And it's it's magical. I know it's as corny as that sounds, like being in the water, being in the sea, feeling the waves, and sort of like this, sort of like drift by you, and to be touching the sea moss, especially when you find it when you're walking around and you like step on it, and it's like you step on a pile of sea moss that's like just drifting about. It's just like, oh my god, oh look what I found, and it's beautiful. I love it. You know what I mean? Like I think that's the one thing, you know what I mean? If I could go back right now, I'd probably like go out and be working on the farms every day. Like I would go drive out and just hang out with all of my friends that I know from Seamoss, and just kind of. I've already told a couple of them like when I'm coming down there, I'm coming to work on your farm, and just be in the water and get into that, that sort of like meditative state. Yeah. Sorry, I got a little bit nostalgic there, thinking about.
Don't worry, you
Pardon?
don't worry, you'll be over there soon.
Yeah, I'm excited to go down there. You know what I mean? To get back there, and it's gonna be different. That's for sure. You know, because I'm a little bit more recognizable face now than I was before. No one knew who I was when I was there. Yeah, but at the same time, I like to think that I've made some good friends, and that you know, I try to be a good guy. You know what I mean? If I did something wrong, and I know I did it wrong, I'll admit it. And usually, if I have hurt someone or upset someone, I try to fix it. You know what I mean? Make up for it, especially if that person is innocent for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when are you gonna come down and check out St. Lucia, Maria?
Oh my gosh, I really miss.
Pardon? You're talking. So, maybe I got the volume down. Do I have my volume
Oh
down?
no, my phone, my tablet is a little bit a little bit far, but I freaking wish. Like, I'm just tired of the energy here. I was actually supposed to go to Philippines 2020, March 2020. Like, I already paid for the flight and everything.
Oh
Like, I have
no!
to refund it.
Oh man, that
Yeah, so
sucks.
I'd love to be on an island right now. Seriously.
And you know what? That reminds me too. Speaking about refunds, I gotta try and call Visa, because the same year that they had the COVID, I was supposed to do Carnival at in St. Lucia, and I bought a costume and everything. I don't know how my friend talked me into doing this, but you know, and I was gonna go work out and have the big carnival body and everything like that. You know,
Yeah.
that was part of the reason why I gotten into the Seamoss, because it was like, oh, I'm gonna get healthy, start exercising, yada 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 yada. You know what I mean? Get ready for carnival, do my soca thing. Do you like
Like, are
carnival?
you trying to get the refund on the costume,
Pardon?
or what are you trying to get a refund on?
So I bought the costume. So I
Oh,
don't know
okay.
if you know what it's like in the Caribbean, right? So
Yeah.
when they have their carnivals, they have these mass groups or whatever, these bands. And so to get into the floats and the dancing and stuff, you have to buy like a suit, and then you represent your sort of like your band or your team. And
Yeah.
so he picked this suit, the band or whatever. And so, because he said we're gonna go down there and pelt some waste.
Oh
Do you,
yeah.
yeah, you know what pelt some waste means?
What does it mean?
Basically, like juk juk juk. You know what I mean? Like dance up to some girls and bounce up on there. You know, or pelt your waist is like to move your waist back and forth, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whining, pretty much.
yeah, sort of like whining, but more
Sort of whining.
almost like daggering. I think it's called daggering. Is that what the thing's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
That's
shit's crazy.
that's the way to put it.
It's gonna hurt somebody soon. But yeah, let me know if later you want some of those links that I have, especially with the ones with some of the information that would help answer some of the questions you have about like how CMOS grows and everything. You know.
yeah, it's just mainly for me to show others
Mm-hmm.
because I definitely don't explain it as well as you do.
Mm-hmm.
And like this is your field, like you actually experienced this. So it's like me showing them this would just be like pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, no, I'm
maybe
gonna put some other
sorry.
information together too, because you're gonna need more than just like how do I put it? Like you need a few sites to be convincing. Like you show them one document, they're like, oh well, this is from this and that's from that, and oh that's like probably this person has a motivation for whatever reason. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
so
the usual.
yeah. So by having a few different sources, it's hard to sort of argue to back it up, you know, because there's a lot of information that kind of explains how sea moss grows and where they get their food from and stuff.
Yeah, you're gonna call it a night.
Huh?
Are you planning on calling it a night?
Yeah, I'm thinking I am. Just just because it is like what? It's almost 12:30. Not. Well, I was thinking maybe stay to 1. You know what I mean? But I'm not in the super mood tonight, obviously. And that's the thing too. It's like, how do you talk about CMOS when like every 2 minutes you're thinking about what had happened, you know? Like still in awe. Like, wow, like fuck, man. Can't believe that happened. You know what I mean? Like this guy literally caught me slipping, you know? Like what an asshole. Right time, right place. Anyways, so yeah, but I think that I'll stay on a little bit. Let's see what happens. Because the whole time I was kind of like trying to find excuses not to do the live stream tonight, but there was this part of me that was itching to say still do it. So it's like usually when these things happen, it's like there's a reason. You know what I mean? Like someone's gonna come in the room at the last minute, or the question's gonna be asked this or that, or I just might get this random thought. Like sometimes you gotta really listen to your gut, or get into practice of hearing your gut so that you can hear, you know, warnings and just sometimes being on the right path, making because everything comes down to a decision. Like sometimes you can make a decision without realizing it that totally blocks you from ever getting any blessings.